Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Today I'd like to discuss about one of the greatest tools for creating to-dos called Todoist.com. You can use their application or their website and they provide you so many features. You can use them even in the free account, more affordable price for premium account. So without any further explanation, let's dive into it. This is the website and I'd like to log in. As you see here, it's so neat, clean, and organized. Guys, there is a very distinct difference between this application and so many other similar applications that I will talk about them later. One of the greatest points about this application is so many rich features, and they equipped you to meet your requirements. Based on this application, people have different aspects. We have different projects, I can say. I have my projects here and you see no project because I haven't created, and I like to create one and we can talk about tasks and how we can create them and dive into the details. Please skip this part for now until I create project. Okay, I like to create project. I can use templates as well, but for now I prefer just a simple project. Consider I like to create YouTube projects because I'm content producer, and this is an example that I have so many information about it, so it could be useful for us for now. My project called YouTube, and you can specify a particular color in order to more recognizable or organized. It depends on your preference. We can leave it default. It's okay. Really, I like this color, so I use this color. And workspace, we can have different workspace, but for now, please don't change anything about workspace. And I can add to my favorite as well. When you have different projects, you can add it to your favorites in order to place at the top of the list. And we can choose the view. It could be list, it could be board. Calendar is for only premium account. And for now, I choose list, and then I will show you that I prefer board. But for now, it's absolutely fine. And I create my project. So as you see here, favorites didn't exist before creating this project, and now it's created. And my project, I can create another one, but I like to keep it simple as much as I can. So this is my project, and the real work begins now. We are using to-do lists in order to create to-dos. What I wanted to do, some of the tasks. So I like to add tasks right now. Add task. For example, consider for a YouTube content producer, or I can call it YouTuber, what the steps are required to create a video. For instance, about gathering information. So that's it. For now, only a title. Gathering information, or I use AIs, for instance, about recap, about summarizing and preparing for the last version of explanation, and recording, editing, could be upload, and finally SEO and title. This is the sequence that I have to pass in order to create content for my YouTube channel. So these are the steps, or I can call them tasks. It's absolutely fine, don't worry about it. So as you see here, guys, there is no specific or particular information. They are just simple tasks. And when you accomplish them, you can just tick the box, and that's it. For now, I need these items to explain you more, but if you check it, it archived actually. So these are the tasks. under this project. Okay, about the task, guys, we have so many features, and this is one of the greatest part of the Todoist.com application and website. So here, as you see, we have description. You can provide sufficient description about this specific task. For example, gathering information from websites, YouTube videos, I don't know, from research paper, and etc. Save. So this is my description. Here you can add comment. Suppose that you did something and you just add it as a comment. I search wikipedia.com about healthy diet. This is my comment. And here you are. I search wikipedia.com about healthy diet. So I read a paper about it. And here you see I can attach files, image, or anything like this. I can record a voice, I can insert emoji, and finally insert from integration. This is not something that you need right now, but these two practical icons could be useful for you. Attach file if you need something to attach, or recording. This is very useful when you are working under a team, especially in a company. So your comments will provide leader and manager to know what you're actually doing. So these are great for project management. So that's it. About the gathering information, I told you this is a description and it's absolutely fine. And I can add more subtasks. I like to break it down into smaller steps in order to more organizable, more understandable, and my brain works in this way much easier than looking at the task as whole. So for gathering information, just consider my description. Websites, articles. I can add more subtasks. YouTube videos. Another would be research papers. Again, another, and more and more and more if you prefer to add more. So these are my subtasks. Whenever I accomplish one of these, for example, suppose that I watch some of the videos about healthy diet on YouTube. So I checked it and it's considered as a completed task and completed subtask. So that's it. It's great. And as you see here, Wikipedia comes up in the comments as well. It recognized wikipedia.com. This is the whole explanation about left side of this task. I'd like to talk about the right side. Due date is the date that you want to start doing this. This is not necessarily a deadline for that. This is your starting point, and I like to consider this as my start point, not about finishing or deadlines. And you can add deadline in the description, not in the due date. So here we have different options here. I can set it for today, for tomorrow, next week, next weekend, or I have to specify a particular date on the calendar. It depends on your needs. And finally, we can specify the exact time that you want to start this task. Consider for tomorrow, and I specify the time about 4:30. It's based on your time zone. For me, Europe, Rome is because I live in Italy. It could be great. So tomorrow on almost 4 p.m. I will start this task. You can specify how much this task is important. For instance, it's in priority 2. So that's great. About the labels. In order to have more organized tasks, you can specify labels to each task in order to be more searchable, in order to be more organized. I already create YouTube tag, and you can specify to this. To show you how we can create another one, I create another just right now, content production, and I click on this content production as well. So it's labeled by YouTube and content production. That's great. And about the reminder, as you see, it's a premium account. Unfortunately, I don't have premium account for Todoist.com. Practical usage is so obvious. It's about reminding. I will use another application. For instance, I use Google Calendar in order to remind me. And location, again, it could be written here in your description. And all of them could be fine. Don't worry about it if you don't have premium account. We can handle them in other ways. So that's it, guys. Another point that we can have these features in subtasks as well. Here, a website article, you can specify due date, priority, labels, reminders, and etc. For all of them can be accomplished as well. So I explored the description about subtasks, about features that subtasks could have, and about the comments and something that you can attach to your comments about the files, about the audios, and etc. And on the right side, you can specify due date, priority, labels, reminders, and location. That's it. Could be great. And here, it provides us so much information right now. And it's more trackable, more obvious, more understandable that what's going on in this particular task. Okay, that's it. And when you add priority, the color of this item change. And this is really great. And I like this because our brain, I mean, works better with items, colors, images, icons, and etc. It's something that is visual elements. So this color reminds me that this task is in not very emergency and critical priority. It's moderate. So that's it. For other tasks, we can again specify other features. About the priority, again, priority number 2, and about recap. For me, it's so important because I actually summarize all of the information, and that would be fine to prioritize as the emergency one or as the most critical task of my project. And about AIs, we can add some of the famous AIs like ChatGPT, I don't know, like Gemini, like Copilot, and etc. You see, you can just extend the information, extend your tasks, subtasks, features, information, and etc. So far you learn how to create project and how to create task, subtask, and specify your particular features to each task or subtask. Now I'd like to talk about sections. Sections are really great feature that you can organize much better and categorize, actually categorizing your task into a specific group. Consider this part: gathering information. It could be one section. Another is about recording. I will tell you why I named them like this. And finally, about sell. Here, we can just drag it and drop it here. Gathering information should place here, AIs as well. So you can just create subtask as well by drag and drop it under the specific task. And recap, consider that where you are putting this. And about recording, I like to put it here, editing, upload, and finally about SEO and title. So about SEO and title, so for optimizing search engine, I have to use a very common and great title in order to attract other people to see my video. So here we have great organization, gathering information as a one section, recording another section, and so another section. So you have great organization here, and you can specify your task, you can categorizing, you can add more sections, and etc. Another template that you can use for sectioning, I like to discuss now, and it's so great and amazing. Consider another project. I will call it video number 2, and I use blue and add to favorite, doesn't matter for now. Video number 2, and you see that it hasn't been added to favorites. I like to work with sections. We have a famous templates, and so many people and even organization are using these in order to track how they are progressing and how they are accomplishing tasks. This is like this: to do one section, doing another section, and done another section. It's the most simplest one. You can edit more sections, but for now it's absolutely fine, and I don't want to confuse you. To do, doing, and done. In order to have a better visual side, I like to change view to board. It's more recognizable and more understandable for me. My brain works in this way. I like this way. So you see here, you have to do. It's about the things that you want to do, but you haven't started them. So don't confuse. It's about the things that you want to do, or you have a plan to do them, but you haven't started it. Doing is about doing them. It means that you are doing something. You are in the middle of the process, or you just started. It means that after starting, not the start point. Before starting, it plays on to-do section. Doing it when you start something, even in the middle or at the end of this. So doing it means that you are in the progress. And done, when you accomplish that task, it plays and it categorizes into done section. Here in the YouTube, because I have task here and it could be more understandable for you, I change it to the board and I change this. And you see here, before I change it, I have another organization here, another port. I just create some of the sections in my mind. It's absolutely fine, don't worry. If you would like to work in this way, again, it's fine. Or for instance, if you wanna have different organization, you can create projects, okay? And one, for instance, about this one, another like this one, it's based on your preference. But something that I'd like to suggest you is, this is your outline, this is your framework, and do this on your documentation. And for to-do list, I suggest you to use this one, not this one. This is about documentation. Okay, in gathering information, these are my tasks. About recording, these are my tasks. So my whole framework, my whole template is doing this. But in to-do list, I have to track my progress. I have to see that what things have been done and what things haven't done. Consider this point. So here before doing this, before changing this, I like to show you something better. I like to duplicate this to another one, copy the YouTube. So I didn't change that. I will delete this one, copy the YouTube, another project, to do, doing, and done. Here you are. When you start, I place them in the first section. Okay, these are the things that I want to do. When I'm doing them, when I started them, instead of to do, it should place on doing section. And for instance, when they accomplish, they place in done section. Again, AI doing. So you have a great organization here, and you see how much you passed, what the steps you've done, and then you have a great organization, and you know that what are the next further steps. What should I do next? All of them. So it can help you for organizing and categorizing your task. We can share this project with other people as well, but they should have an account in this website, Todoist.com. And it's going to be useful for you if you're working under a team. Okay, I'd like to dive into natural language recognition that Todoist is doing very well, and I just provide you some examples that could be useful for you in order to save your times. For example, consider that I like to accomplish this task every day. So if I type every day, you see that the background has changed into red. It means that it recognized my natural language every day. So it didn't have any due date. Whenever I save this, you see here it specified to be accomplished today, and this circle, it means that is recursive task. Every day has been recognized here. We can write it here as well. Again, I remove this and I like to write it here every day. You see here from November 23, today is November 23 and forever. So it says it considered as a recursive task. Or I can tell it that I like to be accomplish this task on the weekend. Again, I saved it. And today is weekend because today is Saturday. So the weekend, 23 and 24, Saturday and Sunday, I have to accomplish this task. That's it. So natural language, it could be great too. And there are so many shortcuts. There are so many ways of specifying this. And if you forget them, it's absolutely fine. You can just do it manually here by just choose this one and specify the exact date that you wanna do this. For example, on December 30, and that's it. It's okay. Don't worry about it if you forget to do this by shortcuts instead of using natural language recognition. So I like to talk about these items that maybe you're wondering that why I haven't talked about them. Let's dive into search. Search is absolutely straightforward, and you just need to write something about your task. For example, I'll recap. You see that it found it in YouTube and copy of YouTube projects. You see, in both of them, it could found it. Or we can search another one, like AIs. Again, in both of them could find them. Or something that I didn't define in this project. Light. I didn't specify them, so it couldn't find it. That's it. Inbox. I like this list that this is your terminal. What do I mean by that? I mean that this is a place that you can put your task that you don't know where your task should put in. Consider shopping as a task that isn't assigned to any particular project. So it assigned to inbox project, but here you can assign it to any particular project that you desire. But for now, YouTube and copy of YouTube aren't suitable for this task. So it should place here. So this is about tasks that couldn't assign to any particular project. This is your terminal where that you put the tasks that aren't assigned to any particular project. About today, we don't see any task here. I just come into YouTube project. I set due date on recording today, and I set time for it 6 p.m. So now if I come up today list, I see that recording from YouTube project, okay, from YouTube project assigned to today list. So I have it here and I have it here as well. I'd like to add another part, light. Light is for recording. I mean that I have to provide sufficient light and suitable light for my recording. So I have to do this along with recording as well. So again, it is specified to today because we are in today list, so it automatically done already. I set this task, and you see here, because we haven't specified any project, it is assigned to inbox list. So I will change this, click on it, and I change this to my YouTube recording, and that's it. Here you are, light and recording. I haven't specified any time, but I have a specified date, that is today. About YouTube, you see that light has been attached to recording section. I intentionally did this because it should place under recording section, not for instance in gathering or so sections, because not related to them. Here you are. And about upcoming, you see that we have some task here about 23 November today. We have recording, we have light, and 24 we have other task, gathering information from YouTube project, a specified due date on tomorrow. And the final part is about labels. We already create them. I create YouTube, you see here, tags, and for this as well I can attach labels. And if I click on YouTube label, I see all the tasks that has this label. Content production, only about gathering information. And if I come here and AI set label for content production as well, it has two labels. And when I return to this and click on content production, I see AIs as well. Okay guys, now I'd like to talk about this part about the sorting. You see that you can sort your task on the list based on priority, based on date added, based on due date, and based on name. Okay, you can specify which of them that is suitable for you. It depends to your needs. For instance, about myself, I create sequences of tasks, so I already specify the order and I don't need this sorting. But you can sort your tasks based on your need, based on your preference. For example, if I set priority, it changed the order. Here you are. There are more options too for sorting or for filtering. About sorting, you can grouping based on priority. For instance, about seeing tasks that are in the same priority. About direction, you can test them all. Somehow maybe it might be useful for you, but for me, priority and the sequence that I consider already is more important. And calendar, about the calendar, you can connect your to-do list application to your Google Calendar, but it requires premium account that monthly you have to pay €4, and depends on your preference. If you prefer to buy this, you can purchase it. And please consider this part, that in some features you have limitations, and the most important limitation that you have to consider that you can only add 5 projects, not more. So please consider this part, that more than 5 projects you have to purchase premium account in order to be able to create them. So please consider this point. And here you are. I'd like to talk about a real distinction between this application and other to-do list application. I like Todoist.com and other applications like Trello, like ClickUp. All of these are suitable for me because they are working based on projects, not just lists. But so many applications in this scope, they're just working on lists and not projects. When you have project, you can create sections, you can organize them more precisely with better understanding. But in list, actually you have limitations and you don't have so much flexibility in order to create your desired organization. So for this reason, I prefer Todoist.com or Trello or ClickUp, and I will discuss them later. Even about Microsoft To-Do List, I will provide a tutorial in order to be able to use them. About the Microsoft To-Do List, I just like to show you what I discussed already. You see here, new list, just like Todoist.com. I create, you see, I can change my view about the recording, about so and title. As you see here, we only have list. We don't have organization. I like to categorize. I like to have better organization rather than just a simple list that I can follow. I need more. So for organization, I definitely suggest you Todolist.com rather than Microsoft To Do. But for some people, Microsoft To Do is more easier to follow. But for me, the project base is much more organizable. So this is why I use Todolist.com. So guys, another critical point that I'd like to mention, and almost I was forgetting this, this is a project, okay? This is a comprehensive organization. This is not about something that you're doing today or you have to accomplish all the tasks today. No, this is not like this. And I am against this perspective that when I'm creating to-do lists, I have to do them right now. I have to do them just today. And when I create to-do lists, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to accomplish them today. It means that you have a project and you have a period of time to accomplish these. So for instance, if you lost something today, if you couldn't do a particular task for your project, it's absolutely fine and you can do it tomorrow. You know, the process is important in a period of time. It doesn't mean that it forces you and push you under a lot of stress to accomplish all of the tasks under one day. So please don't confuse. And to-do list can make our work much easier, guys. And skip this part that you have to accomplish all of them on one day. This is not something like this. And for doing your stuff, again, we have different strategies. You can use time blocking, or I don't know, divide your times into various parts. Again, it's based on your preference, and don't worry about it. I will try to provide you more videos. It's based on your strategy. It's based on how your brain works well, and it's absolutely fine. So don't push yourself to do all of them in only one day. You see here we have project. I can create template from this, from YouTube template, and for each project, I mean for each video that I like to record, I fill that project. So that project could be last for 1 week or could last for 1 day. This is not about finishing in only 1 day. It depends on the project. When you do something, you just put it in doing section. When it's done, place on done section. So based on the things that you're doing in your daily life, you place the task on the corresponding section. So please don't confuse yourself. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment down below. Take care, love you, bye bye.